Good afternoon, this is Neil Spate, Thurrock News, Nub News even, at Corringham Town Park, where I'm with Councillor Shane Ralph, and we're going to have a little walk through the park, particularly talking about the paving, which work has been completed. But I just said to Councillor Ralph, how are things with the park in general, and you pointed out a bit more vandalism, which is not great.
No, unfortunately, we keep getting the bean satellite over here, and we've got this bit of play equipment.
We're just going to have a look, shall we? Yeah.
We've just had the new matting put down, and it's only been down in a matter of weeks, and someone set fire to it. This has now set back the bark going in over there. So the new play bark is going in. It costs £30,000 that we're having done. The shoring's got to go up, and because that's been held back, that's actually held back the swing seats going as well.
Right.
So the basket suites were going in, but that's all been held back to the play bark has been put in. That's been delayed because of this. It's about a 6 or 8 week delay on the play park, right. But we know it's still a lovely park. It's just if we can get people to help look after it, we have the bins constantly get burnt out. And we're looking at new ways now of what other bins we can put in here that are not going to get vandalised so quick. So we're now even looking at just metal frame bin with a bag in now. Because our plastic bins, they don't last more than 5 minutes. And you've got to think, where's that responsibility come into? Is it the parents asking what their kids are doing? Because it is a big issue. We had this down at Hardy Park, years ago, and even the metal bins got pulled out and smashed up. So it's a constant thing. We can't. It's not an endless stream of bins that we have.
No.
And the cost of those does build up, and that stops us from doing other bits in the park.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I came to Thurrock nigh on 20 years ago. And I think the first, I was editor of the Thurrock Gazette then, I think the first story that I wrote was about young people causing problems in Corringham Town Centre. Yeah. So it's not something that's new, and if you think about it, some of those people that were causing the problem, if they were older teenagers then, they're parents now. So the message doesn't appear to be getting through.
No, that's a good point. I mean, as you know, with Hardy Park, we engage with the kids and the youth. And it is something that needs to be done.
Although to be fair, I mean, if I just turn around, we've got the Carrish May Darling Centre here, yeah. Which is, I mean, you talk about engagement with the youth. That's been, something that's made a tremendous impact in Corringham for good.
It has, and you do wonder why it hasn't bled into the park more.
Right.
Now, is it the engagement issue there? Is it because they're not open to the park?
Oh, well, well, there you go. There's an opinion straight away. You got Councillor Ralph always stirs it up. Well, I'm sure people will comment on that.
There is the truth, isn't it?
Well,
you look
there
at what
you
we
go.
did with
Right.
Hardy Park.
Well, there you go. Well, look, let's just have a walk around. We came to talk about the paths, because the paths in the park. Well, we'll have a wander down here. The park suffered, and I did a story on it probably a year ago. Of the paths were in a terrible state, yeah. Particularly as we're going to walk down to the crossroads, where I know at least a couple of people tripped and fell.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd seen I saw the engineering works taking place over a period of months. The other day, as I drove past, I noticed they'd all gone, so I assumed it was finished. I turned up to meet you here today because I have a chat about it, and I saw this sort of paving which is quite rough. Well, it's not paving; it's an infill, which I thought, well, is it finished yet? But you've explained to me the reason why we've got this as a surface rather than tarmac.
Yeah, so as you know, the story goes back numerous years here that we've had movement on the path. So it was like a ripple effect. It was like a wave going down. This isn't just because the normal movement of the field, but it uses a ripple effect. So if we put tarmac down, it wouldn't actually stay in place. So unless we literally built the whole section up. So this was a more viable, cheaper option that is easy to maintain, because it can just be, the service can be added to and packed back down again.
Yeah. Is there a plan to do that though? I mean, it's all well and good doing it now, and I'm being, I'm playing devil's advocate like you just were. Yeah. Is it going to be left? Because I would imagine it would also wear relatively easy, and how durable is it in bad weather?
Well, I mean, we take our lead here from the London parks that use the same material. So
we'll walk down to the crossroads here.
So it is that thing that it does need maintenance. I mean, I'm assuming that it will be constantly maintained.
And of course, you'll be watching to make sure that it is.
Oh, I will be, because one thing I don't want is it all getting churned up. Now, we do have the motorbikes that still pop up here now and again. They've done their best to try and dig into the ground. They haven't succeeded. So that's a bonus. It has a bit of resilience there. But yeah, I mean, people may not be happy with the surface. I understand that. but it's meant to be more longevity than
Yeah.
we had with the tarmac.
You raise an interesting point there about motorbikes and whatever, and we know that's been a problem across the borough. Certainly not something just over here in the east of the borough. Time and time again, incidents happen, and residents talk about a lack of policing, a lack of presence. I remember last year a considerable amount of money being donated by the council to the police force to get quad bikes and all sorts of things, and yet there doesn't seem, we get the odd press release and the odd day when the police announce that they've nicked a couple of people, but in general, and I see quite a lot of quad bikes knocking about and a lot of sort of that bad behaviour. Do you think there is a case for better or stronger policing in the area?
I'm always want better, stronger policing in the area, Neil. Yeah, we have the policing teams have been really helpful with the quad bikes and motorbikes, but it's just an endless stream of them.
Yeah.
You know, kids will get one taken off them and they'll just get another one back. So it is that education. So it is looking at educating the kids further on now. But yeah, for me, the town centre policing teams are key to cracking this problem. And perhaps we do need to look at a place where kids can go to use them.
That's again, I mean, facility, and it is. Let's just swan around. This is a rather lovely park. I mean, to be fair, the grass is cut. We've got a bit of the roller park bit here, where people can skate, and it's a lovely, pleasant day, and it's quite a nice place to be. So it's and I know as we'll just walk down to the corner where there's more play equipment. Yeah. It is a nice park, and you know, I suppose it comes back to, at the end of the day, it's the people who use it, and the people have got to take responsibility for it rather than farm it all off to the council and the police. Is that fair? Or
it is fair in a way that the council and the police can't be here 24/7. A lot of the problems happen in the park late at night or during the evening, and that is an issue. You can't expect the police to be here 24/7. Or the old days of park wardens have gone, and that is where it becomes community-led with places like Hardy Park and other parks across the borough and further afield. Now we're looking at the Adidas zone coming up. Unfortunately, it needs to be redeveloped now. The climbing wall has been vandalised. We had some areas burnt out there. There's been a recent meeting and it's going to be modernised. So that is good news. We're getting more equipment down there and better equipment. So there is investment coming into the parks. But it's not a magic wand. It's not going to happen overnight. Certain things have lead times, and we've got a problem with getting hold of play sand and all that at the moment. Supply and demand, obviously. But the Adidas zone, say the climbing wall down at the back, has got holes in it now that needs to be removed for safety reasons.
yeah, I mean that's again a theme of equipment going in and equipment getting ruined and equipment going out, and then somewhere at the end of the day, somebody's got to pick up the bill for that. But I'm sure your 5 minutes with me, and I'm grateful for you taking the time, Councillor Ralph. Facing up, being there, the public face, it's great to see. I'm sure there'll be lots of comments, and I'm sure you'll take notice of them. And you and I often talk off the record or behind the scenes, and I know, all councillors get a stick, and some are more popular than others. But as I say, it is good to talk. I thank you for coming out today, and I'm sure people will appreciate hearing what you have to say.
Brilliant, thank you.
No problem at all. That's Councillor Shane Ralph here in Corringham Town Park.